Hey guys, back for another update here. I got a couple things for you, for everyone who's been watching. So I don't know if, for all of you subscribers that are watching, I appreciate that. Definitely getting more views and hits than I thought I would when I initially decided to make these videos available to the public. So I appreciate everyone watching, getting a lot of compliments and things too, which is fun. So I appreciate that very much. So I don't know if everyone who's watching is actually interested in learning how to build one of these 5150s, or if you're basically just loving seeing this come together. Either way, I think it's great. So let me know if you want to see more details about certain techniques. I can certainly focus in on those those techniquey kind of things, or we can just go over kind of the progress as it is, and kind of tailor this a little better for what you want to see. But most importantly, to my buddy Paul, this is an update for the progress, so we can kind of track and see where everything's going and kind of build some excitement. So I thought what I would do today is bring you up to speed on a couple of things. First of all, the relicking. I've got, as you can see, both bodies laid out here. This one just came out of the paint booth this afternoon. So I'm going to peel the tape off at the end of this video. Might do a time-lapse thing, so stick around for that. I did it earlier in the video series, but it was after spraying. What you've seen was all the duplicolor paints. And now that I've switched over to the higher quality automotive Sherwin-Williams paint, we're repeating the process. But anyway, I wanted to get body number 1 further along before spraying body number 2. And that way, if I had any issues with the red paint or orange red, then I wouldn't have to strip both bodies down again. So I've done enough relic work on body number 1 to prove my concept with the different styles of paint and the mixtures, the ratios. And for anyone who's ever mixed automotive paint, you know what I'm talking about: reducer, hardener, that kind of thing. So without further ado, let me give you a close-up of body number 1. This is the infamous forearm wear, and so it's going to look a little dull. I've been scraping at this. All of this work is done with a rounded X-Acto knife like that one. Nice big fat round blade, and the reason being is getting in there with a traditional X-Acto blade, I think it would be this is good for obviously fine little scratches and doing things like that, or really flat surfaces. But for me, this one has proven to be a bit more forgiving. And so all of this forearm relic work has been done mostly with that blade and some sandpaper, some very light sponge back sandpaper right in there. And I don't know how well it's going to pick up, but underneath this area of red and underneath this area over here, after I laid down the Wimbledon white, I went back with a slightly brighter mixture of white, still using the Wimbledon white, but I cut it down. I think it was 2 parts Wimbledon white, 3 parts traditional bright white. So just to give it a little bit of kick right there and right there. And the reason is, when you look at the photos of the original, those areas are freshly exposed. I mean, they've been covered for years, and then as the red wore off, that newer white paint, which was not exposed for all those years, is now seeing the light of day. So, and all this, of course, just yellowed with age, and of course, the nicotine and who knows what exposed to it. So that's about as far as I've gotten to the around the bottom edge here a little bit. And then this, of course, is where let me grab a volume knob here. You guys know the song Cathedral? So there's the volume knob. I won't be able to do this because I'm on the wrong side of the camera here. There's the placement of where the volume knob is going to go approximately. And then this area out here, now let me see if I can simulate this here. I'm going to put the knob down so I don't drop anything. This is where you do the volume swells. And from years and years of doing volume swells with your pinky, that's what creates that rub mark right there. So those are the areas I've hit. The back, I went around the exposed wood parts, scraped back the red because the red was all the way right up to the edge. I haven't got that part, but down here you can see about 3/16, maybe 1/8 of an inch pulled back. I'm going to do a lot more work back there. That's just to kind of get things going. So now that I have confirmation, the red's coming off like it's supposed to, I went ahead and sprayed the red here, and I think we're looking really, really good. So I'll take the tape off of that one, but first wanted to show you, I know you're just hearing this bag crinkle off camera, but the Musikraft banana headstock has arrived, and it is nice. Very, very smooth. This is an unfinished neck, and it just feels so slick. We had the so basically, if you're ordering one of these from Musikraft, this is the default setting. In other words, this is the standard setting. We're talking, I think it was the medium jumbo frets. It was the 1 5/16 nut width. It was the 10-inch radius, vintage dot spacings, and it was the EVH asymmetrical back carve. Let's see if I can get a shot of that. So it's thicker over here on your thumb side and thinner as it goes down towards the shred side. And this is the first one of these profile necks, or shaped necks, that I've had. And I can just tell by putting it in the palm of my hand that is just going to play effortless. So I'm very, very excited about that. Somebody asked me today about the nut, the Floyd clamp, and if it's going to sit on the sides of it. He said he had several sizes of clamps, and they all kind of hang over, so I'm about to find out here. Theoretically, if you use the right size clamp, it won't hang off, which it doesn't. So whoever was asking me must not be using the right size, because it is absolutely flush there and flush there on that side. This is an R2 clamp, by the way, for the 1 5/16 nut width. So yeah, I think as long as you spec it out right, you shouldn't have any problems at all. So what I thought I would do here real quickly before I get into the unmasking of body number 2, see if I can do this without disturbing too many things. And I also wanted to note that when I go back and watch and preview these videos, I don't know that the color or the lighting down here is doing the color to this justice. You're seeing this this EVH beach towel in the back, and for those of you that ever built a Frankenstrat, you'll know that red is a much darker, deeper red used on that guitar, as opposed to this lighter, bright orange red Chevy orange combo. So might be throwing the whole color scheme off quite a bit, but that's kind of what's going on down here. I realize you're not seeing this in full effect in relation to the colors, and I've heard this pocket is very, very tight, and yeah, so far it is. And I'm not going to force the issue, because this is going to be put together eventually by Lee Garver out at GMW. So I'm just gonna, I don't want to hammer that down just yet, because in case they might need to do a little adjustment, but we'll just kind of set it in place and simulate having all of this put together here. because I get antsy like that, and I like to see how things are going to come together. Find the pickup that I opened the other day. Here it is. So yeah, coming together, starting to look like an actual guitar. Making good progress, feeling real good about this. All right, well, I'm going to pause this for a second and get set up here to peel the tape off here on body number 2. Alrighty. And I also switched over to the Scotch fine line, or Scotch or 3M fine line tape, the green tape. And I'll tell you what, it makes a world of difference. Just both in terms of how easy it comes off and how little problem you have with it. Alright, there we have it. Body number 2, ready to go. If you go back and study the original photos, or photos of the original, you'll notice things like where this tape stripe rolled over that center line and ended up, let's say, encroaching on the front side. You'll notice things like these side stripes over here being cut at a 45 to this, never connecting. You'll also notice the gap here in his top. Something else that was pointed out was some comments about how this was almost impossible to get right. If you look at the back of the original, not that hard. You just have to lay the piece of tape. Oops, I'm not even in the frame. You just have to lay the piece of tape across there, gently touching this side, but letting some of the paint flow down. So, yeah, there you have it. It's also very hard to find pictures of this side. So, really, you just kind of have to use your best judgment on that right there, on any of those sides over there. But it's kind of easy to figure out once you start really spending some serious time looking through all the photos and once you actually tape it all up. So, all right, well, body number 2, unmask. Body number 1, part of the way through the relic process. I'm going to let this paint, the paint on this body sit at least another day. Like I said, it was only sprayed a few hours ago, so it needs to have plenty of time to flash over and cure, and then it should be good to go. We'll get all, actually, I'll probably just get this body to where this one is, and then I really need to get the black on here next, because the black was put on at the same time on the original, and therefore it was reliced in the same manner. So that'll be the next big step. All right, thanks for watching.